What's going on, my good people? Just in my little quiet place, man. Meditating on things, man. Me and my wife were out here speaking earlier, and we were talking about because when we go out with couples in the beginning, we went out with couples and we was like, nah, we gonna choose to hang around married people when we go out on double dates. Like it's very tough going out with like two people that aren't married, probably because both people think it's singles. In a marriage, you don't think it's a single no more. You don't think it's a single person anymore. Um, you think it's one person. So when I be like talking to people, um, especially who aren't married, single and dating, and I'm giving them marriage principle. I ain't giving you advice for you to stay single. I'm giving you marriage principle advice. You cannot be single in mind and married on paper. It does not work. Everything got to be in sync. But we have a problem where we have put sex and intimacy and kind of like a different set of standards. So today, a lot of people watch porn, right? And porn gives you the greatest illusion of all time. The greatest illusion is sex without intimacy. So you get to see sex, you get to see it with your senses, you get to see it with your eyes. You're like, oh, I like the sound of her voice. I get the feeling because I put my hands on myself. And you keep doing this, you think that it is of no account, man. It's by learning out of the Bible, man. When it keep saying stuff like, you think this is of no account. I'm like, why do they keep saying that? You be thinking that this stuff ain't doing nothing to you spiritually, but it is. Um, it helps you build a false sense of um what a woman is or what a man is. So you start doing or imitating this stuff that you see, and what you are losing is intimacy. Intimacy is what build the relationship between a man and a woman. Intimacy, like, but that comes from starting off in a friendship. Like, I have to see her as an equal in the beginning. um I can't just like, oh man, body, looking at her body, or I'm just thinking about her sexually. When I see her, I don't just think of my wife as a, oh, ooh, I just want to have sex. People probably look at my wife that way and, oh my God, she's so pretty. Oh my God, oh my. And I just be looking at her like she's a great fucking person to me. Like, I love her with my heart. I really care for her. Um, my wife had 3 damn children when I met her. I love the children as I love her. Um, it's an intimacy, but I'm not doing this like it's not a thing that happens overnight, man. You got to build intimacy, but it doesn't start with sex. And this is where sex get caught up, and you start replacing sex for intimacy, and then your whole line of thinking is jacked up, and you're not understanding that sex is sex. Intimacy with sex is fantastic. Sex without intimacy leaves you empty. There is nothing there. I'm telling you this from a sex addict point of view, not from a person who lacks wisdom. I'm telling you this because I was a sex addict. I went through this when I was having sex with all of these women, trying to fill a void that you can't feel it, man. When the body, you cannot satisfy the body. It's always like, well, I'm not, I'm not happy today. What are you gonna do today? You be like, God damn, man. Your mind be like, no, but your soul got to make the difference. So your soul is always in conflict. And so when women, this is the crazy thing for women because women are feelings based. Men are way more rational in their thinking. Men be like, well, we had sex today. I don't care about you tomorrow. Women be like, he had sex with me good. He must really like me. And the women start replacing the sex for true intimacy. True intimacy is different than just sex. Like when I see women today, I be like, oh, she's extremely nice looking, but I don't look at her as a sexual person. Um, this is what I like about Islam, and it's preached in Islam. So, oh boy, at the core, for the people who practice it right, for the people who practice most of these religions right, um, it's supposed to be a balance. The woman offers something different than what the man offers. Um, but they said in Islam, and even in Christianity, it's like this. It's preached that before she becomes your wife, there is no girlfriend in Islam. There's no girlfriend, boyfriend in Islam. There is brother, sister, and then there is marriage where two people become one. There is no step in between. We girlfriend, boyfriend. That's a courting phase, but the courting is all according to wanting to be married to get to the we get to the intimacy, and then we build a love for one another. I love her like I love myself, and we build a love for one another, and we get married and we have sex because the intimacy between two of us is built up, and now we have sex. We have sex and then try to build intimacy in between. Like I be trying to explain to women, it's two different types of men. It's before sex and after. Your personality depends on if he stays after. You can keep having sex with these dudes, but if your personality don't match up, your spirit don't match up, they gonna have sex with you and they're gonna get on about their business. And you can't fake intimacy. Like you can't fake manhood. You can't fake femininity. You can't fake being a man. I know two women this last couple of years that had left their marriage because they was just like, I don't feel like my man's a protector. I don't think he would protect me. I was like, damn, nigga won't even throw a punch for his wife. Out of here. And so I can't run from a woman's feeling of saying this man is not a protector. He's just not. And when men tell me why they walk away from women, I understand. Like if somebody ain't got it to give, they can fake it, but in the long run, who you really are is gonna always stand out. So back to sex and intimacy. Like this morning, when we were talking, me and my wife were talking about sex and intimacy. I put my hand on her thigh, and I started rubbing her thigh, and I said, "I really appreciate you. I love you." And she said, "Thank you." And I said, "That doesn't have anything to do with sex. I just really love you." And she said, "Thank you." But but this is the thing, most women, and especially a black woman, ain't been shown to true intimacy. All she's been shown is her body makes her important. Her body makes her important. So they be like, "Oh, she's beautiful. Look at her body. Look at," and then the girl on the inside, when people not telling her she's pretty, she don't feel that way because her brother, who's supposed to see her as a sister, only sees her as a sex object. And then when you do that to your own woman, you give free range for other people to do it to them. So when we talk about intimacy, intimacy and sex are two different things, two different intimacies. But when you have an intimate relationship that was built and y'all truly respect and honor one another, and then y'all eventually become more than brother and sister, y'all become a union, y'all have sex because y'all have built an intimacy for one another. Like, this is why I say young boys shouldn't be having sex. Listen to this. Young people in general do not understand sex. They have no idea the power behind sex. They have no idea. Man, I could control women's lives for years. There was a woman I was talking to for 3 years, stringing her along because of sex. She was just waiting on me to say yay or nay. And one day I came, I was just like, it's just not gonna work out long term between the two of us. I was not mean to her, but I had to tell her, like, it's just not gonna work out long term. It's just something that's not gonna work long term for us. And for me, me telling her that it was not going to work long term for us, that's me jumping back into brother mode and telling my sister I still love you and I care for you, but the union between us is just not going to work. It's something that's off. But I still have love for her as a sister. I don't want nothing bad for her. I want her to have a great and prosperous life. I want her to find a husband that loves and honor her, but that husband is not me. And she had enough respect for what I said and the way that I said it to say, okay, I respect and honor what you said. You were not mean to me throughout the course of our relationship. I wish love and happiness for you as well. And me and this woman didn't see one another. She didn't see my wife. They speak, and of course, we all move on. We don't have to be mean to her. She don't have to be mean to me. Because at the intimate relationship was a safe and productive and safe and good relationship between one another. We had a great intimate relationship. Had nothing to do with sex. Now we might have had sex, but it had nothing to do with it. It was just the brother and sisterhood. But we interrupt the brother and sisterhood when we interact girlfriend and boyfriend into the subject. You stop building the intimate relationship and you interject sex, which interrupts the intimacy process. Especially today, boys just having sex and they don't even care about this woman. Once she done, they want you to get up out of their face. They really don't have an intimate relationship with the woman. And the man is the lead. That's why I don't be talking like no woman. If the man say they're the leadership, if you say, but we want a woman to submit to me, you got to know the rules. It's rules to this game. I was telling my wife the other day, man, about my homeboy that was a pimp. And he was a fairly, extremely new pimp. He met a guy who was a big pimp, and the pimp gave him some women. And so when we went to his house and we were speaking to him, and he said the women in the house had rebelled against him, and he went back to the big pimp who was his mentor. And the big pimp said, well, you had these women in your house. You said they are part of your body. You can't go outside and have sex with free Wayne women that are not in your house. He said, you got to play by the rules in the pimp game. And I said, God damn it, the pimps know the rules. Why regular people don't know the rules? It's a rule to sex and intimacy. It's a rule to marriage. Even though I was one of the breakers of the law, now that I look back and I see the damage when you put sex over intimacy, there is no brotherhood. There is no sisterhood. It's bitches and hoes and niggas, sorry ass niggas and baby daddies and baby mamas. That's what happens when you put sex in front of intimacy. There is no love in the middle. It's just a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and everybody holding true. But nobody coming along the line and saying, hey, man, I love you for being a sister of mine. And the sister said, I just really love you for being my brother. This is how this game work, man. The game work by love, not by hate. But what you got to understand in God's universal law, whatever energy you choose, that's what God gonna flow with. But God said, if I don't deal with darkness, you got to go into darkness alone. The light is where I'm gonna be. So that's like a father putting you out the home. Say, well, go and go see. If I'm harsh, but I'm harsh because I love you. Them people, they love you, but they don't have no true love for you. If they hear something bad about you, they don't love you no more. They're gonna get on about their business. And this is when you start understanding things spiritually, you have to understand things from the top point of view, from the highest laws. And the highest laws have to deal with the spirit, which is the highest part of the spirit, mind, and body. So I'm not saying that, I'm not criticizing anyone personally for having premarital sex. I'm just saying it has a cause and effect. It has, when you put sex over intimacy, it has a cause and effect. That's all I'm saying. You can't deny the facts. Back, even when I was born in 1980, man, I came up when music had real love in it. You know, when I was not at home, they really loved the woman that they were talking. So some people, the words sounded like love. It sounded like, man, I could really. Now I don't have to make love to this woman during the song. I just can talk and relax and vibe out with her. It's a good time. We're having like, man, the music, man, they loved one. It was a love in the music, and I was raised on older music, older than that. So it was real love in the music. When I listened to the music today, I said this music has to be influencing the people because the people have changed. The people done changed, the women done changed, the men done changed, the brotherhood and sisterhood done changed. You can't tell me when men talking about have some of my love and they're talking about sex, they're not even talking about the love of the woman. They just talking about what the woman can do for them while the sex is happening. After the sex, there is no love from the woman or the man. Because if you love them, you would even if the situation don't work out, y'all would still have a common respect for one another. But there'll be no common respect, be no true honor. People get into relationships knowing they're gonna cheat on. Well, I want to see if man. We went out with a couple, man, and we asked them like they was a single couple, and we were asking them what their goals was for this relationship. Me and my wife, we go out and we used to go out with singing, well, like with couples that wasn't married, and then we was like, these people going through a lot. It's just the way that they would speak to one another. Like it was no love in the way that they spoke to one another. And we asked one couple, we asked them, and they said, girls like, well, I want to do this for my family and my kids, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. And I was like, okay, well, she ain't say nothing about him. And what do you want? And he was like, well, I want to see if I can be in a monogamous relationship. I've never done it. So you not doing this for her. And so at the end of this date, this little meetup thing that we had, they asked me and my wife what we thought. And we said, we think y'all should break up. And they were sitting there like, what? And I was dead ass serious because me, I'm a realist, bro. I'm gonna tell you, y'all wasting each other time. Y'all gonna be there for 3 years, and then y'all gonna be mad at one another. Why don't y'all just break up right now? Y'all need to be together. Y'all just said two separate things about each other. When I talk about my wife, everything include we. My wife can see all my finances. When we got married, I gave my wife all my passwords. Here you go. Free your mind. Go through my phone anytime you want. I do not care because I'm here with pure intentions. The intimacy and love that I have for my wife is just different than what I be seeing out here with certain married couples. That's all I'm saying. And we go on a lot of double dates with a lot of married people, and I be listening to the way that they speak about one another, and I be like, oh, I see the intimacy in your relationship. I see your relationship was probably built on sex, and then y'all got married. And when y'all had to be intimate with one another, y'all didn't know how to do it because you didn't work it out in the beginning when you were single. This is when you need to work out these intimacy issues. And most times it needs to be worked out with you. You the problem. You the problem. Nobody else. It's you. Your problems with intimacy based on how your parents treated you. Maybe your mama was standoffish and didn't have a good nurturing spirit. Maybe your dad was there but non-existent with his emotions, and you became a human, a grown human being that lacks a nurturing spirit, or you didn't get the male side of what emotional value and emotional intelligence looks like, and you go out here as an adult with that no nurturing spirit, and you think somebody's supposed to respect that, and it's you. You need to learn how to nurture you, learn how to love you first. It's no way to find anybody if you don't love you first. If you don't love yourself, you're gonna find somebody that don't love them, and they're gonna hate you when you find out you love. When you find that love in yourself, like, what? You doing better in your life? Knock you down, beat you up, talk emotionally crazy to you, because this person has not built an intimate relationship. So the person don't even love themselves, and now you want them to love you how you have found to love yourself, and they don't have it. Well, this is going to cause a conflict. And this is what I be saying in relationships. And this is what I wanted to talk about when I see sex versus intimacy, because I'm a married man. Of course, I've been married for 5 years, never cheated on my wife, and no scandals. Ain't nothing out there. You can't find nothing on me. Where it's at, tell them bring it. Bring it to the square. So I don't think like that. People to be around me. If you cheating on your wife, get on away from me. We can be friends, but you could be friends up. You be friends over there. You friends over there. And in a couple years, you stop cheating on your wife, or you divorce your wife, hang out again. But you're not for to sit there and just do no woman crazy. And I know your wife. I can't play like that. I can't play the game. You're not living your life and the life that I need. We still be friends. You gotta be friends over there. If you can't build a type of intimate relationship that I'm trying to build with my eventual men's ministry, get out my face. I'm not here for you. So, anyways, I just want to really speak on intimacy versus sex. Like, and the last thing is I did this video about building an intimate relationship with God. And when I think about my intimate relationship with God, I only think about sex. Like when your parents, when you a baby and you was laying on your parents and you laying on your dad's lap, you don't think about your, ooh, I want my grind on my dad. It's a intimate relationship that you have built with your parents where you can, they're your earthly creator. You built a relationship with them. Then you have God. When I think about God, I don't think about sex. Like, thanks for giving me a good working organ, sexual organs, but I don't think about God in a sexual sense. We have built an intimate relationship through time and understanding and patience. And the patience, God has always been patient with me because I've not always been obedient. So, and I'm still not obedient all the way. So it's just building intimate relationships. And these intimate relationships have to start with you before you meet anybody else. Your intimate relationship with God and your intimate relationship with yourself is not even going to allow bad people to come around you. They're gonna be like, man, don't even approach my wife because she not with the shits. Man, when my wife see, dudes come holler at my wife, what they don't understand is she see matrix numbers, you zeros and ones. She don't even think about you because she has built an intimate relationship with me. She is synced up with me. We synced up in the spirit. We're not even down here on earth with y'all. And this is what people do not understand about my relationship. And my relationship is not others' relationship because your intimacy might have happened in another way. So, y'all have a good day. I just really want to talk about sex versus intimacy today, man. Y'all have a good one.